Me.
Everybody.
Hi.
We live.
How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully you are at home, chilling, relaxing, trying to find something to do.
Hey, look, David Jones is live.
David Jones is live. David Jones is live.
Live
Live, solar, hello wellness, all of that,
Stoney's
all at
here
once.
too.
Stoney's here as well. So
You guys
hey,
can't see him.
no, you guys can't see him. So hey, look, today's conversation is going to be alternative energy. It's not just for tree hugging hippies anymore. We remind people and we share with people.
Look, Stoney even said, woo!
And so we remind people that, things are changing, times are changing, and you have to be able to evolve and change as well. And today's main topic and what this is brought to you by is really, Hello Live Solar. And I share this because today or yesterday I had a gentleman that had shared with us that, hey man, my bill, my energy bill is, $181, and I'd really love to, implement solar power to help me out. And I said, man, look, just send me your bill, and literally I can get you a solar quote, tomorrow, and a 3D quote that's all drawn out of your home, and we really can determine and really see how you're going to swap out one bill for another. Okay, everybody thinks it's adding on another bill. It is not. You're paying for one bill. You're going to really be able to drop that bill almost down to zero, if not up a network. I'm sorry. Hey,
sorry, well, you basically pass one to one.
Yes, a net metering, right? Mm-hmm. Thank you. And so I went to go, and I'm excited. He sent me his bill. He's excited, and I go and look at it, and it's an apartment complex. And I'm like, no, brother, we cannot put solar power.
Hi, Louie. Hi, spoken beauty.
On a apartment complex. Not yet, but it was just amazing. He was spending $181 in his apartment complex for his power, and I was like, wow. And just the fees and the taxes and everything was just crazy. So, that's one of the things that we wanted to. And join us on Clubhouse as well. We're on all of our platforms that you really can not miss this message, right? To hear what we're going to share. We're not going to make it technical. We're not going to make it crazy. We're going to talk about everything up underneath the moon, just like in our podcast, right? We have our podcast as well, Getting Naked. You go check us out on Spotify. Take us on all the major platforms. We're on there. And like we'd like to tell people, right? Helping everyone live life optimally is what HELLO stands for. And people are like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, well, we created.
And then they're like, what do you really do? Let me tell you what we
Drop
do.
It, baby.
We're sustainability experts. Woo! Sustainability.net. We help you sustain your body, your mind, your home, your community, your world, and your planet. Because if we don't got a planet, we don't got you.
So it's all.
This is what happens when you don't drink alcohol for 90 days by the way.
Yes, and
this
so
is sober.
If you guys are thinking we're drinking,
all sober.
We're on our last week. Or is this our last week?
Well, April 4th is our real true 90 days.
No.
Remember, we pulled it up. If it was a true 90 days, it's March or April 4th. But
so April
to be honest, y'all,
I really don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Like I would. Well, here's what I miss.
If we were out and about,
yes,
then I would probably have a gin and
tonic. Social drinking is what I find. Yes. I enjoy actually, and I don't even enjoy club drinking, like going out and having a drink at the club.
Yes.
I actually prefer restaurant drinking.
Yeah.
I'd rather go have a glass of wine with my dinner. I'd rather have a margarita with my Mexican food. Yep. I don't even need that at the house. I much just rather have it at the restaurant. But we can't go to restaurants yet. Not yet. We're getting there.
You can, but we're not.
We choose not to. We choose to still social distance and be mindful that, hey, we got a few more months we got to get through before we can all be together.
Like I was explaining on my live earlier.
But I'm gonna bring it all over you.
Yeah. It's kind of like, when your car engine dies,
did you clean your butt tire?
And you go and get a jump start from somebody, and you put the jumper cables on there, And you know that if you wait another 2 or 3 minutes, that you know it's going to start. But because you're so impatient and you're ready to go right there and then, you go and try to press your luck and try to press it again, and it doesn't start. And now you have to wait double the time, right, to start your engine. Jack. And so that's kind of where we are at with, wearing the mask and things of that sort. But back to our
wait.
Back to our main topic at hand.
Because this was not about the main topic, y'all. It's totally
exactly.
not the main topic.
Back to the main topic at hand.
Tara, you can do your own live talk about that.
Well, we can talk about it, but we got to make sure that we get on the right topic with people. Is that, first of all, is that you guys have to understand.
Alternative energy, no longer for hippies.
Why? No longer for hippies.
Tell me why.
Well, first of all, solar power has been around for 60 plus years. Okay. A lot of people are unaware of that. Just like, prime example, the satellites that we have up in space. There's not a huge extension cord running from Earth up into the space.
Those what?
The satellites.
Oh, gotcha.
The satellites up in space. Are you being funny?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so no, we're not gonna go there.
Oh, come on, do tell.
No. So let's just say there's a debate sometimes that is that a satellite or is that a star, and
the really bright ones are satellites. Look. Hello. And when the damn thing moves, the bright little satellite goes from one point to the next point in the same night. It's not a star.
I think your mama dropped the iron on your hand.
My mama did a whole lot. At least my mama didn't drop me off the damn countertop and let me fall on my head.
So you didn't get it. I think your mama dropped the iron on your hand. Yeah, you didn't know my mama dropped the iron on my hand? That's why I got that mark right there. That's an iron mark.
No, Clay, I didn't know that.
Yes. Look. You got to be careful.
We got to wrap you in double bubble.
You got to be careful.
Bubble wrap.
So anyhow, back to live solar.
No, I was just out eating cow poop, I'm sure, and licking the salt lick for the cows.
So
I wanted to know what it tastes like. Power. I really did, y'all.
All right, so cool? Why should you consider solar power, and why solar power is not just for hippies, okay? Solar power, number one, everybody likes to save money, okay? Saving money on your bills right now is very important, especially in this particular time. So also you get to increase the value of your home as well. A lot of people don't know that you can put $26,000 back in your hand, and you can increase the value of your home. Whether you're staying there or whether you're not, you can still be able to get value back into your home. And then one of the biggest things, what
look here.
I'm looking over here. That's right. Right? I'm sorry. And then not only that is that a lot of people are like, well, what happens with the roof or this, that, and the other? Actually, solar power actually helps protect your roof, so you don't have to worry about that. Right? And then not only that, some of the bigger benefits is that you will be able to integrate solar power 0 down. Right? You'll be able to get 12 months, no bill. Okay, 12 months. Just imagine right now if no electricity bill showed up in July, August, September, all of that, and that money was in your pocket. How beneficial would that be? Number one,
I'd be investing that money.
I'd be investing that. And then the third thing is that there's a 26% federal tax credit. Okay, wow. So just imagine if you went to go buy a car, or you want to go buy a house, and the government said, hey, we're going to give you 26% of that car payment down, you'd be all for joy about it. And so the reason why we say, this is simple and easy, just with the conversion, I had a great analogy. A lot of us shop for insurance, car insurance. And you know that if you trade insurance companies, that you have to pay like a month and a half. So you got to kind of pay like double just to switch over. And a lot of us do, because you're with your insurance company for your car, and you go search for car insurance, and they say, hey, you're spending $300 on your car insurance, but we can save you and get you down to $200. And you jump for joy and you go with that particular insurance company, and for double the coverage and with all the other benefits go with it. So just imagine the same philosophy and the same concept with your energy. Just in this case, there's no money down, okay? You're not having to go all through this hassle and hoops and loop and all those other things. So it's literally switching one bill for another. So that's the important thing. And then I think the misconception is that you are still connected to the power grid. Okay, you still have that little wire running into your power grid, and it's still connected. So it's not if the sun goes away or if it gets dark.
Do you know you
it
can
gets
still
cloudy.
produce and save energy on a cloudy day?
Yeah,
On the cloudiest day, you can still produce and save as much energy.
yeah. How much energy? I tell people how much energy.
Because you don't need bright sunshine.
How much energy is created in an hour?
Oh, did you know that if we took just 1 hour of the total, like the sunshine beamed on the earth for 1 hour, just 1 hour, we could power the entire world for a whole year.
Yeah, which is crazy. So just imagine 1 hour of sunlight on your roof.
Why would we not use a free resource?
Why would you not? So
Why would you not? This is kind of like the fact of, let me put it this way.
yeah, go ahead. Drop it to them.
Every time you get up in the morning and you walk out into your garage, pre-COVID, when you were going to work every day, right?
Even now.
Oh, yeah, even now, whatever you're doing, but you go out into your garage. You got a 2-car garage, right?
Yep.
You got 2 vehicles sitting there.
Yep. We like analogies, by the way.
Yeah, we like analogies. The first vehicle that's sitting there is your Pinto. It's a little beat up. It's got multiple colors. The doors are rusted. The exhaust sounds like someone's, shortcut your pipe. So you got, a short-tailed exhaust. And the belt, and the belt squeals. So it squeals every time you take off from a stop sign. Oh, and guess what? The horn will just randomly just go off and start honking, and because of a wire short in there. But hey, the brakes squeak a little bit, but hey, it gets you from point A to point B, right?
Yeah.
In the next slot over in your 2-car garage, you have a brand new car, 2021 Ferrari. Two-seater. That's got over 500 horsepower. You just push one little button. The damn thing does not squeal when you take off from the stoplight. It also does not have screeching brakes. It also does not have multiple paint colors. It's one. So my point being is, why do you continue to walk out into your garage every day and choose your beat up little Pinto to get into and go to work every day when you have a Ferrari sitting right next door to it, and it's a free resource? And what do I mean by free resource?
And you ain't got to pay on that Ferrari for 12 months.
Yeah, and here's what I mean by free resource. You're like, well, Tara, the Pinto costs less than the Ferrari. That's not free. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, dum-dum, what I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, you own these 2 cars. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you dum-dum, but I just mean in a sense you own these 2 cars. It's like walking out and saying, am I going to drive car A or car B? Because you own them. Or it's like walking up and you own this property and this property and this property in the oceanfront and this property is desolate. Which one do you want to live on? I want to live on the oceanfront property and sell the property behind me so I get the best view. Why do you continue to set and get into the old ways? Why do you continue to use the old methods when the free is right there for you and it has so much more benefits? And it'll make its coffee and wipe your ass for you. So why do you not use it?
And even more when you say that analogy of why use the Ferrari over the Pinto, because the Pinto, when you drive it out on the road, the Pinto does not make you money. When you drive the Ferrari out on the road, it makes you money.
People be looking at you.
Well, it makes you money, and we say that because that's what net metering is. Is that net metering is that when you go solar power and you put the solar power on your home, you are creating energy, right, to feed back to the actual power company. So you are actually getting a credit on your bill that we talked about, right? Is that you're no longer paying the energy company. You're now creating your own energy, and you're selling your energy back to your neighbors. So now your home is an asset. So prime example, if you go sell your home, you could sell your home and say, hey, my home might be $50,000 more than that home that doesn't have solar power, but you're going to have a solar power. You're going to have a light bill. And in 5 years, light bills are predicted to be 20 to 25% higher than they are now. Just last year alone in 2020, light bills went up 10% here in Texas. So how much more can your budget afford with Business 101 have that increase? Can you afford a $500 bill in 10 years from now? Can you afford all the money that's being transitioned and lost from all the major companies? Because guess what? If 5 people on your block go solar power, who you think is going to pick up that bill that the energy companies lost?
I got a question.
Yeah, come on.
Here's another analogy.
Come on. We go back and forth with analogies.
Yeah.
Y'all thought this was about solar power.
Yeah,
But we
I
just
got
give
one.
you breakdown, simple 101 of why you should just send us over your bill. Let's give you a free solar quote and just see what it does. This is listen, learn, leverage.
And love. By the way, so here's my question for you.
We can add that one on.
Yeah,
I had
we
3
did.
L's, now we got 4.
4.
Girl, you're good. So
listen, love, and leverage.
Love, listen, learn, leverage. You got
all of them. All of them.
Look,
just get them all in
if
there.
you don't love yourself
You're
first,
4 L's.
if you don't love yourself first, then this ain't gonna work for you, right?
This is true. So here's my analogy.
Come on.
Actually, I don't even have an analogy for you. I got a question for you.
Break it down.
You're standing there.
I'm standing.
And you have 2 boxes, and they say, okay.
I ain't got no boxes, but okay.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah. You got 2 boxes, and they're standing there, and they say, okay. We're going to lift up both box lids. You get to see what's under both lids.
Mm.
And then you don't have to choose one or the other before you get to, we get to show you.
Yep.
We lift up the lids. And then after I lift up the lids, you get to pick which one you want. So under lid A, guess what there is?
A bunny.
No. It's where you got to pay them $200 every month.
Okay.
Lid number B.
B. I like
2
B.
whatever.
Okay. B.
You lift it up, and it's got $75,000 sitting there that is yours, and you don't gotta pay anybody. What option would you choose?
I think this is more of a rhetorical question and not an analogy.
I said this was a question. I changed it. I said this is not an analogy. This is a question.
Okay, gotcha.
This is a question, yeah.
Gotcha.
So, which one would you choose? Would you pay someone $200 every month, or would you take the $75,000?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I want the $200. Maybe I want to pay the $200.
So you're like, well, Tara, how does that make sense? Okay, let me break this down for you. You're currently paying an average of $150 to $450 in electrical bill, depending on what part of the country you live in, what season it is, and how much. Like literally, if you're in California, you're paying a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
So I just said 200 as a very conservative number.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're paying for your current traditional electricity that you just get from, for instance, Reliant Energy, which is who services our area, versus $75,000. You're like, well, how do I get $75,000? Let's break it down to you.
Give me that. Give me that.
Your home, when you add solar to it, you can add up to or over $50,000 in value to your home. But Tara, that's not cash in my pocket. Well, it is when you sell your house. And if you want that cash liquidated immediately, then you can sell it immediately and liquidate that cash, and it's cash in your pocket.
And your house
will sell
for 12 to 15% faster than
I love when he reads my mind and he's just so on cue. No, hey, that's why we are freaking frack and we do this so well. That's exactly right. Yeah. So then on top of that, solar's only gaining more traction. So it's only going to go up in value. Yep. So if you say, I'm not ready to liquidate that $50,000+ in home value yet, you say, let me sit on this a little longer. Okay, cool. You sit on it a little longer, and it goes boop, boop, boop.
Kind of like a stock market where solar
on your house.
Solar power is a faster and a more lucrative investment than S&P 500. Right?
Bam. Point number 2. So that's $50,000, Char. Where's the other $25,000 you're talking about? When you do your taxes, you know that tax credit we're talking about, that federal tax credit, that comes back to you. That's literally in your motherfucking hand.
In your hand. Cash money.
Cash money.
Hey, and also.
So my point being is, a mofo is a person, place, a thing, by the way, so I don't mean that in anything. But my point being is, that's just the beginning. Not only are you, I didn't even calculate in the savings that you get every month and all of these things.
Well, that's what I wanted to make sure we got our numbers right.
Because at the end of the day, what happens is,
No.
Mr. Jones is going to break numbers down to you.
Is that you were going to spend, take your calculator, you were going to spend that $150 every single month for renting your energy.
For the rest of your life.
Right? You were going to spend the electricity bill. That $150, it was gone. Poof.
A life sentence.
And other than you putting that into the solar panel that you're leasing, right, that's going to be on your home, that you can lease these solar panels out, guys. Look, right now you can get 2.9 interest rate. You can, yes, where you're literally leasing out the actual solar panels and putting it on your roof to where that's an asset. So you're not paying your solar bill, you're not paying your energy bill, you're paying to lease the actual solar panels. So, and that's where the net metering comes into play. That's where you continuously, and this is the biggest thing.
How about Nene?
This is one thing I did want to get to the people, well, especially those of you here in Texas. That's okay. Especially you here in Texas.
Break it down.
How many of you know somebody that pipes bursted in their house? How many of you know somebody that went without power for 2 to 3 days? How many of you know somebody that, had to move a significant other or elderly, to a warmer place?
I do.
How much time and how much money did you might have spent on a hotel room to make sure they kept warm? And so when people talk about inconvenience and this, that, and the other, it's only a day and a half of work. You're not without power. The permits have to be authorized and everything is up and going. And it's simple, easy. It's kind of like going into AT&T and trading that iPhone 1, right, for that brand new iPhone 12. It's literally a flip of a switch, and you're off to the races you go with your solar power. And we really, talk about the benefits of this because people are so unaware. People are so scared to learn information, and that's why we figured we'd come live. And if anybody has any questions on live, please ask a question away that you have about solar power, and we will be more than happy to answer that for you and to get that out there. No dumb question. No question is a dumb question. 2 things, and I'm not a longhorn. This is not what this means. 2 things. Come on.
So it's 100% financing, by the way, available, you guys. And some of you guys might be, well, my credit's not the best right now because of the pandemic and I fell behind on some things.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
We just came out with a program that if you have a sub 650 credit score, which means you're below 650, we can still finance
you. In there.
We in there like flint. And you ain't paying 20% and all this shit. They giving you actually decent rates because they understand that this is where we're going for the future.
It's not if you're going to go solar power, it's when.
Then.
Come on, drop it.
Then.
What you going to do?
Then. What do we want to talk about?
And this is the other
thing. I had another thing, but I can't remember because I forgot.
And we're talking about, just the solar power essence for your house and the benefits for your house and for your personal, needs. Let's go on to the 50,000 square foot view of how important solar power is. We all utilize plastic. Plastic is becoming a huge issue. There's going to be more plastic in the ocean by 2050. I'm a person that wants to go fishing and golfing every day. And when I was told that by 2050, there won't be any more fish, that was a huge eye-opener for me. And then not only that, the plastic in the water and just everywhere, it is mixtures of chemicals. And when it's heated up by the heat in the sun, that ethane and that methane goes back into the air, and that's creating more of an issue with our CO, right? And so water.
Did you know we're the first solar car company to not have a carbon footprint when we do the process, the manufacturing process? 100% no emissions.
Boom. And that's another thing, right? We were talking about power and water. A lot of you guys went without water. Did you know that you could filtrate our water with solar power?
Guess what?
Did you know that all these filtration systems out here that we have, if we implemented solar power at the rate that we're doing, especially in our solar power farms, we now can utilize and leverage those together. Go figure. If you bring things together, it works, right? All is one. Then we can have our water filtrated and not have to worry about the chemicals and all these things that we put in there. Go ahead.
Did you know that if you put this also in your water after you filtrate it with the solar power that you get from us, if you put this extreme nitro in there, you also can make alkaline water immediately just by a simple drop of that. Who doesn't want alkaline water that is clean and crisp and pure?
Yeah, so those of you that don't know, not only do we have our, and this is the thing that we tell people, is, and you might be looking at us crazy all as one and just having this conversation. We would have never been able to propel to where we are now if we would not have started on the journey that we are now. Because we started in the health and wellness industry. We're still in the health and wellness industry. We'll never go away from that, going strong. And that's why Tara can bring up this information to you guys about.
This is why I got so much energy. You want some?
About our Nitro Extreme.
We got power coming out of everything, y'all.
Wow! You know, and energy is what we talk about all the time. Is having positive energy. And just like Miss Adrian, Miss Andrea today was sharing a research that a doctor did on water.
He's got to touch me.
That water, literally, he took water and he was talking to the water negatively, and they did research on how it was deconstructing the water. When he talked positively to the water, it changed the whole molecular structure and it created a vibration that was very strong. And we say that because we are made out of 60% of water, and how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, all is impactful. So that's why we share with you guys to be positive, be happy, be inspiration. And if you have a bad day, it's not a bad day, right? There shouldn't be a bad day. You had a bad moment. And it's really, you have to be mature enough to get out of that level. And I say that while she's smirking and I'm smirking at her, is to be mature enough to have these conversations and get out of that. That story that you tell yourself, that story, that conditioning ways of how you live and what you're surrounding yourself with. So
the way you handle situations in life based on the way that you were taught to. I saw a great video, and I'm actually going to repost it here on my social media so you can see it. It's two little boys. One little boy is literally, he's toddler, and they're both toddlers. One is 2, and the other one I think is maybe 4, maybe 5. And literally at the end of the day, the 5-year-old, the 2-year-old is losing his cool, about to have a meltdown. You know, we all know what a 2-year-old meltdown looks like, right?
Yeah.
And his 5-year-old little brother walks up to him and he's like, no. And he gets his little 2-year-old brother to breathe, and all of a sudden you see his little brother start mimicking him, and he's like, you are positive. See, you feel better, don't you?
I feel like I'm in the video.
At the end of the day, y'all, the little boy, the little 2-year-old is like, gives his brother a hug, and off they go. So my point being is, at the end of the day is, where did that 2-year-old and that 5-year-old learn it from? Well, the 2-year-old just learned it from the 5-year-old. Where did the 5-year-old learn it from? He just learned it from his parents. So that's what we're talking about. You were given a set of tools when you were born of how things were done. Now, you didn't even know you were given it, and your parents didn't know they were giving you a set of tools because they
were given a set of tools.
Because they were given the same set, and the one generation before that was the same set of tools. And what happens is we continue to hand down these set of tools to each generation, and we don't realize that sometimes we got to stop and fix our equipment.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to stop and sharpen our blades. Sometimes we got to fix the axe handle. Sometimes we got to fix our equipment when it gets passed down, and we're not doing that. And all we're trying to share with you guys is how to realign yourself to more open, positive communication that gets you where you want to in life. If you don't want to own your own company, cool. That's not we know that's not for everybody.
Yep.
But if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, that means that you get to help preserve the planet and save some money and live a longer, happier life that then you can spend with your children or your grandchildren or traveling or whatever, eating great food, whatever it is, then that's really what the true essence of life is. And that's why we come back to power. Why is solar power so important? Well, guys, real talk. If we shared the video and we probably should share it on our solar about really what the next 100 years looks like if we do not take action against the methane and the fossil fuels and everything that we're using right now that is not helping us.
Yep.
And it's not that it's bad. We're just learning. We're learning that this has an impact, and here's the impact. It's okay to change into something that's going to help everyone, and everyone doesn't have to go without. The problem is people use scare tactics and fear tactics to create an agenda to share with people that state, hey, don't use XYZ, because if you go with solar, for instance, you're going to be without power whenever it's not a sunny day. You're going to go without power whenever, and you're going to be living off grid. That's completely wrong. And people don't realize that at the end of the day, it is what marketing is all about.
Why shale?
And people
Why Ford? Why are all these companies?
Why do they market? Why do all these old companies in the 80s and all that market that fossil fuel was all of this amazing stuff and solar was bad? Because of the change and because of greed. So you have to understand what lies underneath those motives of what we've been told. And so back to the set of tools. We've been given a set of tools. And back to what Mr. Jones was saying, where it's just all about the choice. You didn't have a bad day. You had a bad moment. And how do you deal with that? It's the set of tools you were given at a young age. You have these beliefs, these thought process, these communication examples of how you communicate with others. And look, real talk. If every month all of a sudden you lose your shit and you think it's, because I'm a woman and it's around my cycle, well, yeah, that might have a little bit to do with it. But here's something else. Your body might be addicted to the drama that happens every month, and that's all it knows. Your body might be addicted to the drama it saw growing up. And so all it knows is how to handle situations is by screaming and yelling or saying things that are not going to help the situation or solve the situation, right? Mm-hmm. So we only know what our parents showed us because they were showed, and guess what? They didn't intently show you how to be able to communicate. It's what they learned and all they knew, and they don't realize you're monkey see, monkey do. You're only doing what you see. So at the end of the day, be cognitive when you're passing tools on down to the other generation. Be cognitive to allow people to think freely for their own selves and make their choices and get all the information. Don't sit here and take our word solely for it. Yeah. Don't go out to our website and just go, okay, well, they're just going to tell us the information they want to tell us. Oh. Please go out to Google and literally take everything that you find on our website and go fact check it, because at the end of the day, it ain't nothing but facts, Jack, and that's what we're trying to share with you.
Yeah. And even when we talk about the benefits for the home,
money game,
the benefits for being able to understand how it's going to impact the world, from the plastic to the fishing to gardening to everything. I know for me,
my hunger.
Yeah, the hunger. Cows.
No, not the hunger. My hunger.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, and so that's the bigger thing. We said we were going to be on here for 20 minutes.
That's what I think. My subtle thing is that I'm hungry, boss. I said Mexican food at the beginning of this, and now all I'm thinking about is Mexican food.
Yeah. So hey guys, look.
Here we got so much.
Hold on. I had one thing that you interrupted me with.
I'm so sorry.
With the food attack, and it was just. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Was that before learning all this information, and like we said, once the mind learns something, once the mind expands, it can't go back. Mm-hmm. Is that beforehand, I used to leave the shower on like 20 minutes beforehand.
You said in the bathroom?
Just in the bathroom and just waste water.
Do a boy stuff.
Yeah. And now, knowing what I know now, I will stand there, turn on the water, and get in the shower and get out, because we are literally on the verge of environmental issues that are going to start impacting us all. And just like in anything and everything in life, it does not matter until it impacts you, and then we take action. And that's why we encourage people, hey, don't wait till you have to go to the doctor for your health. Don't wait until you need that extra money. Don't wait until it's too late when you don't have that time. Don't wait when it's too late and you can't help other people because you can't help yourself. Don't wait when you want to give back because you haven't significantly been able to give back to yourself to give to others. So that's why we encourage people to be preventative, and that's why we encourage people to come join us on our hello, journey, and just come learn, come listen, and then be able to learn the things that we did. Because if we could do this, I know if my ass could do this, I know anybody else out there can do this. And that's whether it's going solo. Why you back there looking like a model and going solo?
Because I got something to say, and
going
I'm trying
solo.
to be
You're trying to hold it. Going solo, and or checking out our wellness program, and go take our free health assessment. Right, it's
Some
free.
are pose instead.
Yeah. So go ahead, baby, because I don't want to get eaten.
No, you're okay.
No.
So
I'm okay now.
he's
on this
okay.
Camera.
He's safe while he's alive.
Here,
Don't
eat this.
don't go up alive. Don't go in the dark. No. So here's some few tips and tricks, you guys. Seriously, here's tips and tricks you can take today, literally right now, to help save power for yourself, but also to help save the planet. So
give me some tips.
So,
give me the tips. Yeah.
Guys, if you have a toaster oven or some sort of appliance plugged in that you don't use all the time, not a refrigerator, obviously a refrigerator needs to be plugged in.
Yeah.
Unplug these appliances that don't need to be plugged in. If you've got an Alexa or a Google or something that's at your house, right? Spring for the extra $10 and get the smart outlets that when at night, if you say, hey, Google, whatever you're doing, good night, it'll shut all of those electronics off for you. That's why I said Google, because she'll shut everything down and we'll be here in the dark, y'all. Literally. You going to bed right now? All right, my bitch, you going to bed. Bye. Sorry. So anywho. Y'all, I'm sorry. I apologize for the cursing, but that's just me. So I'm just going to say what? You said what? Anyways, at the end of the day, y'all, coming to America too. My point being is, so splurge on that. Another thing, water, like Mr. Jones said, use your dishwasher instead of hand washing your dishes.
Yes.
Did you know that you use only 4 gallons of water versus over 8 to 10 gallons if you hand wash?
Yes.
Hand washing doubles, if not triples, the washing.
Yes, because I know in my household, we didn't use a dishwasher.
Yep.
We had a dishwasher. Your ass was a dishwasher.
Yep.
And that was so much waste of water.
Yep. The other thing is, on your toilet, a lot of the toilets have 2 flushing buttons in the back. Mm-hmm. One has like 1 little symbol, and one has like 2 symbols on it, right? Well, that means the number 1, number 2, y'all. So they're trying to give that to you politely. So basically, at the end of the day, use the correct one for the correct function that you just did. Don't be using the number 2 on the number 1 because it uses less water to flush that out. Yes. I actually was watching a live about a month ago that a young lady was talking about her past and growing up. And she said the way that they handle things is that they didn't flush for number 1. They just flushed for number 2. And it was a product of because of them being poor and them not having the ability to flush the toilet. So let's just remember, y'all, and this was here in the United States. So this is remember, let's not get there. Let's not forget that if you were in Texas and you experienced the Texas winter apocalypse, literally, you guys, I call it the apocalypse every time. It was because at the end of the day, people went with a week without water being able to flush, and they just didn't know. If you don't want to experience that again, let's be mindful. Here's another thing. Are you using paper towels all the time? That's another thing that we are trying to cut our habit on. Get some tea towels, y'all. Use the tea towels and rewash them, right?
Hold on. For what? For wiping your ass?
No, baby. Paper towels, not toilet paper.
I was like, hold on now.
Toilet paper is another thing. I'm going to talk about toilet paper.
You said toilet paper.
No, I said paper towels. We can rewind, and David's going to watch. Bet 5 right now. Bet 5. $5. I said paper towels, not toilet paper. And so paper
We're
towels.
gonna let y'all know.
Yep, I won that $5. Look, whoever's watching on live, they already know. So anyways, you guys, at the end of the day, paper towels. Don't be using a whole lot of paper towels. Use your tea towels. And tea towels you can actually wash and rewash. Speaking of wash, your washer, here's another tip. Use the
I was hungry, boss.
Use the eco. I know, but look at all these great tips that people don't realize that they're right at their fingertips.
Forget one thing: your computer, your laptop. Unplug that bad boy.
I'm not forgot that I haven't got there yet. My point being is that the washer and dryer, use on the washer, use the eco warm instead of hot water. Hot water, you using hot water is almost it's actually the number 2 thing. The number 1 thing is what Mr. Jones talked about on your computers. Number 2 thing that takes the most is a hot water heater having to heat that water back up, and that spends a lot of energy. So if you're constantly washing in hot water, yeah, y'all, you're just spinning through. Wow. So next thing,
you're supposed to use hot water for white clothes.
No, you can use hot water for anything. You really, at the end of the day, but you just want to make sure it doesn't have a shrinkability to it. But it doesn't have. It's not cotton. Cotton, you definitely want to use green. If it's not pre-shrunk cotton. But we're getting off topic. Anywho, so then the last thing is that we're still talking about solar. Look, so at the end of the day, last thing is two things: toilet paper and computers. So your computers and your monitors, you guys, put them on a smart outlet and let it turn off at night, because the problem is that you running all of this electrical and all this power and your computer monitors and your TV and your like another thing, your DVD just being plugged in or your Xbox just being plugged in, at the end of the day is going to be the same problem. It's going to have a lot of power. So then the next thing that we need to remember is toilet paper. Now we're talking about toilet paper, Mr. Jones. Toilet paper. So Mr. Jones always says, the toilet paper. You guys, real talk.
Yes, toilet paper.
Yes, you need toilet paper, and but be mindful about how much you're taking and you're just wrapping around your hand. A lot of people are just wrap a whole god around their hand and make sure it's all padded so their hand doesn't, and be like whoop and wipe.
You're talking about somebody in particular.
I might be, but at the end of the day, it's awareness. Because when I was younger, we were on a different kind of system, and our system always got clogged up, right? We were constantly unplugging our toilet with the snake and all that.
It's just the overcompensation of what we as Americans utilize in today's society.
Yes, and so all I'm trying to say at the end of the day is sometimes less is more. Be aware of how much you're consuming. And so toilet paper is one thing. And what I mean by that is the fact of if you send more toilet paper down the toilet, that requires more water that you have to use to flush. He knows I'm looking at him. So anyway, y'all.
Are you thirsty?
Are you thirsty? No, I'm just educating the people.
Okay.
I'm not thirsty.
Okay.
They're not even here watching, so I'm thirsty talking to myself.
Well,
so
I'm hungry now, boss.
Okay, now that I talk about Mexican food, he's hungry. So with that said, you guys, tips and tricks you can do on a daily basis to be able to have to get this
to Mexican food together.
Tips and tricks that you can do to be able to help curb your power consumption and to help save this planet. Y'all, you don't really. Oh, and last thing. If you're ordering food out, just think, all that plastic to go stuff has to go somewhere. And David was just talking about that plastic to go. So here's something. Maybe when you go out and you have a restaurant, maybe you ask them, hey, have you guys ever thought about using recyclable containers? Because there's a lot of restaurants out there that send your to-go meals now in recyclable containers. So what does it mean? The moment that it goes into the landfill, it becomes bioavailable and it will decommission itself. Decompose was the word I was looking. Yeah, I was like decommission itself, which means it's going to take itself, decompose into the earth. And actually, what happens is a lot of people don't know. Did you guys know that there's cards and there's actual recycled paper out there now that they put seeds into? Mm-hmm. And you're like, seeds? What? Like just flowers and wildflowers and all that. Well, why do you need that? Because guess what? As you put seeds into this recycled paper, and as it decomposes into the earth and it's in the landfill, all of a sudden you have a bunch of organic material growing the flowers and the trees, which eat up the methane. and which is what's killing our atmosphere. So that's what we're trying to share with you. It's all one, it's all connected. So be mindful that at the end of the day, when you go to your favorite restaurant, put a bug in their ear. Hey, you should really switch over. You can say that as a consumer because you're buying their stuff. Hey, I'm not going to come back anymore if you don't do that. Now, we know your ass going to go back, but hey, tell them that because it's a pressure to tell them. If they hear that from enough people, they're going to start being, hey, we got to be mindful of our, because guess what? It's going to be the only product available.
Or you just worry about your ass and you do your part and you go solo. Oh, I thought you were trying to do something weird, some strange.
Unlike you.
Some strange thing.
Love.
Kindness.
Integrity.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Hey, where can you find us, baby? Get that free solo quote.
TheHello.LLC/capital Capital Hello. TheHello.LLC. No www in front of that. Don't worry. It's a link tree, so don't be all weirded out by it. It's just going to link tree. We just have branded our link tree. If you want to know how to brand your link tree, come talk to us. Let's take a sister know how to hook you up.
Hey. Go check out the podcast. Also, if you would like a free sample on us, go to that as well. You can have a free sample on us on that as well. And if you know somebody that has been talking about
somebody that knows somebody that wants to be somebody.
Right? If you know somebody that's been talking about solar, then you let them know.
How about you make $1,000 off of it?
And you make $1,000 when they say yes.
Or just tell them to come talk to us.
Just it.
Hey, Gina, you want me? You
so
can talk about solar?
All of y'all that was out there.
All
of y'all that was out there when somebody asked for an electrician or somebody asked for a plumber, and you gave up your plumber or you gave up your electrician.
Give us up as your solar people.
Look. Did your electrician or that plumber, did they hand you some cash back? Hey, I appreciate you putting my name down on that Facebook ad. I appreciate that.
They didn't give you no money back.
Get a thank you card.
But we trying to give you $1,000 and you won't share us with nobody. So share us with somebody. We want to make some people some money.
Come on.
We trying to put some money in people's pockets. We want to give you money. That's how we work.
Cash money.
Cash money.
In your hands.
Love.
Kindness.
Integrity. We
Talk to you
out
later.
this bitch. Bye.